going to be trying to repair this bumper here. Also right here, it's too close to the wheel. If you look at the other side, you can see it's different. I'm going to measure that and try to get it back where it needs to go. I think those brackets that hold the bumper on are part of the reason it's being forced back. So I might have to unbolt those from the bumper and then try to hammer them and push them forward. Right here is a bracket. Up here, it just ripped right off of the bumper. Never seen that before. It's crazy. The steel just ripped like it was paper or cardboard. This bolt's still attached, and this piece looks like it's bent. So I'm going to loosen up this one bolt that's still holding the bumper. This particular one is a 13mm socket. If you can see that by pulling the bumper a little bit, I can pull it away from it a little bit. You might think it's crazy, but I got the little jack in here that came with the truck, and I'm gonna see if I can use it to push this steel back, because the hammer is just bouncing off and it's not doing anything. I'll show you there. See, all that pulling gave me that little bit of a gap, so it got the bumper a little bit out. I'm going to see if I can get this steel to bend back to match what the bumper is now, and then try to pull the bumper out some more because it's still not quite there. See how long I can tighten it by hand. Now that I got it tightened up almost to the bumper, hopefully maybe what we can do is can reposition this jack somewhere to help push the bumper out more, to straighten it out a little more. If you try something like this, try it at your own risk, and make sure you sit away from this jack in case it falls, so you don't get whacked in the head, because it will hurt pretty bad. Or you could get hurt because this thing is made out of solid steel, and it has some weight to it. You can also watch it. If it starts to slip off, you'll notice. It looks like it's pretty good because there's a lot of tension on it, so it shouldn't fall off. And if this slides down here, you can always whack it back up with your hammer. I don't even know if there's no way to know if this is even going to work. When I loosen it up, the steel could come back. It's also why I'm trying to tighten it beyond where it's already pressing to try to straighten out the steel, so when I take pressure off, the steel will stay where I want it to stay. Up here, I'm not going to be able to get the jack up there, I don't think. Well, maybe I could put it right here. There's some steel right here, but it's kind of thinner. Maybe I could put it there and try to straighten out this up here some more. Doesn't really matter because that bolt ripped right out of the bumper there, so you can't screw it back in anyway. Now I got the jack right here to try to straighten out this edge of the bumper. Pushed it forward. You can see right here where it's supposed to bolt on, the gap is huge now. The bumper is about where it should be. I'm going to see if I can get the jack somewhere to try to straighten out the top of the bumper. And then these two might not line up anymore, so we might have to figure out some other way to attach the bumper to this bracket here. When you do this, there's not much for the jack to grab onto to press, so you gotta be very careful it doesn't fall down and whack you in the head. So stay away from it as you carefully tighten this, and then when you can't tighten it anymore, then get the wrench and stick it in there and turn it. On the side of the bumper, I tightened up the jack in there to try to straighten out this section of the bumper. I got the jack back down here to press this piece of steel forward. Hopefully it'll stay in place when I loosen it up. Then I'm going to bring it down here and straighten out this a little bit. See, now it's lined up with the bumper again. I have the jack right here on the side of the bumper, And I'm gonna tighten it and pull the bumper up this way, or push it up this way, and then hopefully it will stay there when I take the jack off. Got it back up. I repositioned the jack a little bit, and it looks like the bumper doesn't want to stay up like I figured. Best way to get this stupid dent out was just to take the bumper off. I was trying to do what I could without having to remove it, but this was easier. In about 5 minutes of banging with the hammer, I got most of the dent out. I just hit it from the back. Still have to try to fix this and line this up. There's a gap up there, and when I lower the jack, the bumper presses back into it. I think that might be what's keeping it from being up more. I put the old, whatever that thing's called, that the bolt screws into, back in. And then I'm going to tighten up the bolt, and hopefully it'll press on this mending plate I put here. That's not working too good. The bolts are coming out. And hopefully that'll press the bumper forward some. Keep it from falling down. Those bolts are hard to get threaded into those stupid things. They have to like be just in their perfect position. But I got the bolt in and it's sticking out, so I'm gonna lower the bumper and we'll see what happens. I moved the jack over here now. See, I positioned it right there to try to straighten out that bent bracket a little bit to force that, because I think that's why that side of the bumper is still hanging down. Hopefully when I loosen up the jack, that side of the bumper will stay where it is. Wires to buff out the chrome a little bit. Put on some painter's tape so you don't get overspray. I gotta stop at the crack. See, here's the damage right here. Might be hard to see it, but in there, the little spots, the way they make the chrome, there's a layer of copper in there. And copper corrodes when it's exposed to the elements. So if you don't seal this up, then your bumper's gonna be a mess. When that copper corrodes, it's gonna pop all the chrome off. So the only thing you can do to preserve it from getting worse, I'm gonna spray this with clear coat. I think I'm gonna do 4 coats. Then once it fully cures after 48 hours, you come back and buff it again with the Meguiar's to help to blend it in. You can see right in there, I got that bolt in there. It's pressing the bumper out. This is what it looks like with the clear coat on it, and it's got that crack. Nothing you can do about that. Might be some way we can hide it. Maybe put something over it. You look here, you got the grill, and there's a nice space there again, because before the bumper was pushed all the way up to the grill almost, and that spot there's still some pressed up here. It's not perfect, but this is pretty much as good as it's gonna get. It's never gonna be perfect again. That's it for the video. Come out here so you can see the truck. See that? It looks 10 times better than it did in those photos that you saw after the wreck. You can see the damage. The hood's been replaced as well. There's a video on the channel how to do that if you need help with that. And you should have a couple of people help you do that as well. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, click the notification bell, and if you have any suggestions for future videos, leave a comment.